Having recently finished a new Star Wars book, Inquisitor: Rise of the Red Blade, I found myself surprised with some of the new lore being introduced here, unsurprisingly, being on the Inquisitors of course, and oh boy, do we have quite a bit to talk about here. As this book delves into the deep world of the Inquisitorius, their recruitment, Palpatine's plans, and how even the clones were involved, and as you can guess, it's a game changer. Let's dive in. So, for a long time, we thought we knew how Inquisitors were recruited into the Empire. Order 66 happens, most of the Jedi are killed, and then Palpatine sifts through the survivors, looking for strong-willed or powerful Jedi, especially younger, more malleable Padawans. Then they're captured, tortured, manipulated, and tempted into joining, and just like that, you have an Inquisitor. Then the Darth Vader 2017 comic run threw us a curveball, as it takes place in the immediate aftermath of Revenge of the Sith, and Palpatine already has a good few Inquisitors right on the spot. So that always begged the question how he recruited so many Inquisitors so soon after Revenge of the Sith. And well, that's where Inquisitor: Rise of the Red Blade fills in the blanks. In the book, we follow the 13th Sister, Iskat Akaris. She's a Jedi with a darker streak, known for her reckless and impulsive behavior which causes the death of fellow Jedi and civilians during the Clone Wars. And while scolded by the Jedi for it, she's instead encouraged to explore her darker tendencies even more so by a Temple staff member, a non-Jedi that she feels that she can trust to keep her secrets. And unbeknownst to her, they really turn out to be a spy for Palpatine. And that's where Palpatine comes into play here, as we learn that Palps actually had spies throughout the Temple, looking for Jedi who disagreed with the Order or had darker tendencies. These said Jedi were then scouted and kept tabs on during the Clone Wars like Akaris. And if they seemed promising, they would receive a random unplanned meeting from Palpatine himself, which he used as a way for himself to sense their powers and feel them out to see how far they would be willing to push back against the Jedi Council, as he wanted people that willingly chose the dark side like Anakin rather than be forced into it. Then when Order 66 comes around, these scouted Jedi like Akaris are spared and offered a choice. Embrace the darkness inside them and join, or die like their Jedi friends. And this is the interesting part with the clone troopers, as they're told ahead of time, I suppose, about these scouted Jedi that they're about to go on a mission with. So when Order 66 is initiated, the clones kill all the other Jedi accompanying them but spare the scouted Jedi and offer a choice. Which if the scouted Jedi, such like Akaris, chooses to join, then the process of indoctrination, reconditioning, and training to become an Inquisitor begins. And well, speaking about the clones, this is also a direct canon confirmation that the clones were indeed notified of certain Jedi who were exempt from Order 66, like Anakin Skywalker during the raid on the Jedi Temple. And of course, yeah, this was always assumed but never directly confirmed anywhere in the canon lore, until now that is. Now back to the Inquisitorius, the Grand Inquisitor himself was likely already scouted by Palpatine way ahead of time and filled in on his upcoming Inquisitor project. Then the initial roster was filled out by the Jedi Palpatine had scouted during the Clone Wars, of which those who would accept to join the dark side when offered during Order 66. But then post-Order 66, the Empire would continue to fill the ranks of the Inquisitorius, this time not through scouted Jedi, but those who survived Order 66. However, because these survivors were never scouted beforehand and slowly turned to the dark side, they generally would undergo a harsher period of transition, involving brutal torture and manipulation, such as with the case of Trilla Siduri. It's probably the least best way to join the Inquisitorius, but I suppose it's effective enough for Palpatine. Now, I feel that this book really helped fill in some gaps and added a whole other layer to Palpatine's Inquisitorius project, without having to answer every little detail, thus still leaving some things ambiguous and left to our imaginations. But I suppose if you want more tales from the Clone Wars and are keen on seeing more of Palpatine's scheming from behind the scenes, then it's a pretty decent read and worth picking up. Especially if you're interested in the dynamics of the Inquisitors. N7 out.